Part 1. The Wedding. The first time Isla saw Lucian Moretti at her wedding, she realized she had made the worst decision of her life. He was standing at the end of the church aisle, dressed in black. Not smiling. Not nervous. Not even pretending to be happy. He looked like a man attending a funeral. And perhaps, in a way, he was. Because 3 hours earlier, Isla had agreed to marry a man she barely knew in exchange for her family's survival. The priest looked between them. "Do you take Lucian Moretti as your husband?" Isla's fingers tightened around the bouquet. She looked at Lucian. His dark eyes remained fixed on hers. There was something strange in them. Not desire. Not indifference. Something closer to fear. "I do." The words barely left her mouth. The priest turned toward Lucian. "And do you take Isla Bellini as your wife?" "I do." His voice was calm. Too calm. The ceremony continued. Isla heard almost none of it. Her father was sitting in the front row with his head lowered. Her mother was crying silently. Her younger brother hadn't even been allowed to attend. The reason was simple. Someone wanted the Bellini family dead. And Lucian Moretti had offered them protection. But there was a condition. Marriage. When the priest finally announced them husband and wife, Lucian reached for her hand. His fingers closed around hers. Cold. Steady. He leaned toward her ear. "Don't be afraid." Isla's eyes narrowed. "You are the one who should be afraid." For the first time that night, something changed in his expression. Almost a smile. "I already am." Part 2. The man she married. The Moretti estate stood outside Lake Como, surrounded by mountains, cypress trees, and dark water. It was beautiful. Isla hated it immediately. Everything felt too perfect. The marble floors. The enormous windows. The silent staff. The security guards standing at every entrance. Even Lucian's bedroom looked untouched. As if no one had ever lived there. He opened the door to a bedroom across the hall. "This is yours." Isla walked inside. A suitcase was already waiting beside the bed. "My things. I had them brought from your house." "You went through my belongings." "No." "Then how did you know what to bring?" "I asked your mother." She turned toward him. "You've been speaking to my mother." 4 weeks. "Before you proposed." "I didn't propose." "Right." She laughed bitterly. "You purchased a wife." His jaw tightened. "I gave your family a way to survive." "You made a deal with my father." "Yes." "Without asking me." "Your father said you would agree." "Well, now you know my father was wrong." Lucian stared at her. "I know." She stepped closer. "Then let me make something clear." His eyes dropped briefly to her lips before returning to her eyes. "I don't love you." "I know." "I don't trust you." "I know." "I won't sleep with you." His expression didn't change. "I didn't marry you for that." She wasn't expecting that answer. "What did you marry me for?" He paused. "Your protection." "That's not the whole truth." "No." She waited. He said nothing else. That night, Isla locked her bedroom door. She didn't know whether Lucian was dangerous. But she knew one thing. Men like him didn't make sacrifices without a reason. And she intended to find out what his reason was. Part 3. The rules of the house. Living with Lucian was nothing like Isla expected. He didn't force her to behave like a wife. He didn't demand affection. He didn't even ask her to share his bedroom. Instead, he gave her freedom. She could walk around the estate. She could use the library. She could drive one of the cars. She could call her family whenever she wanted. There was only one rule. Never leave the property alone. Isla stared at him across the breakfast table. That's not freedom. It's survival. You're controlling. Yes. He didn't even deny it. She sighed. Do you ever apologize? When I'm wrong. Have you ever been wrong? Frequently. She nearly laughed. You're impossible. I've been told. He returned to his coffee. She watched him. Lucian was strange. Cold in public. Quiet at home. He rarely raised his voice. He never seemed to lose control. But sometimes Isla caught him staring at her. Not in a possessive way. In a worried way. As though he were constantly checking that she was still there. One morning, she asked him, "Why do you look at me like that?" He froze. Like what? Like you're waiting for something bad to happen. His expression hardened. I'm always waiting for something bad to happen. Why? Because usually it does. She studied him. Who are you afraid of? He stood. Finish your breakfast. Lucian. He walked away. She hated when he did that. But she hated even more that she wanted to follow him. Part 4. The ballroom. 3 weeks after the wedding, Lucian took Isla to a private gathering in Milan. She had expected a business dinner. Instead, she found herself surrounded by Italy's wealthiest families. Men watched Lucian carefully. Women whispered about Isla. One woman approached them. She was elegant, blonde, and beautiful. Lucian. She touched his arm. I heard you finally married. Lucian's expression remained cold. Apparently. The woman laughed. Her eyes moved toward Isla. She is lovely. Thank you, Isla said. The woman's smile sharpened. You must be very lucky. Before Isla could respond, Lucian stepped closer. Isla isn't here to be judged. The woman raised an eyebrow. Protective already. Lucian looked at her. Always. Something inside Isla tightened. She didn't know why. Later that evening, she stood alone on a balcony. Lucian joined her. You disappeared. I needed air. You were angry. Was I? Yes. She turned toward him. Who was that woman? An old family friend. An ex? No. Someone you almost married. No. She folded her arms. Then why does she look at me like she hates me? Because she wanted my name. And you didn't give it to her. No. Why? Lucian looked toward the city lights. Because I didn't want her. Isla's heart skipped. She looked away. That's not my problem. I know. A few seconds passed. Then Lucian said, You were beautiful tonight. She looked at him. His expression was completely serious. Was that difficult for you to say? Very. She smiled despite herself. Good. He looked at her. And for a moment, neither of them moved. Then someone called his name from inside. Lucian stepped away. The moment disappeared. But Isla couldn't stop thinking about it. Part 5. The first crack. The attack happened 2 nights later. Isla was walking through the estate when the lights went out. She heard glass breaking downstairs. Then a gunshot. She froze. Another shot. Lucian appeared at the end of the hallway. Isla. She ran toward him. What's happening? Stay behind me. He pulled a gun from beneath his jacket. She had never seen him carry one. She followed him down the stairs. 2 security guards were already moving through the house. Lucian grabbed her hand. Come with me. They reached a hidden room behind the library. He locked the door. Isla's breathing was uneven. Who are they? I don't know yet. You knew this could happen. Yes. You knew they might come here. Yes. Then why did you bring me here? His eyes met hers. Because this is the safest place I could put you. She stared at him. You really believe that? I know it. There was something in his voice that made her stop arguing. The gunfire eventually stopped. The attackers had fled. Lucian opened the door. Then Isla saw the blood on his shirt. You're hurt. It's nothing. She grabbed his arm. Sit down. I'm fine. Sit. He actually obeyed. She cleaned the wound on his shoulder. He watched her quietly. You don't have to do this. I know. Her fingers trembled. You could have been killed. So could you. That's different. How? She looked up. I don't know. Lucian reached for her hand. His fingers closed gently around hers. That's what I'm afraid of. What? That you don't know what you mean to me yet. She stared at him. Before she could answer, he released her hand. Part 6. The man who remembered. After the attack, Isla began noticing things. Lucian knew her favorite flowers. He knew she hated elevators. He knew she preferred tea to coffee. He knew she still kept her grandmother's silver necklace even though it was broken. She had never told him any of that. One afternoon, she found him in the library. How long have you known me? He looked up from his book. Not long. That's a lie. He closed the book. What makes you say that? You knew my favorite flowers. Your mother told me. You knew about my necklace. Your father. You knew I hate elevators. He said nothing. She walked closer. Who are you? Lucian looked at her for a long moment. Someone who has been watching over you. Her heart stopped. Since when? Since you were 19. She stepped back. Why? He didn't answer. Lucian. I promised your father. What did you promise him? That I would protect you. From what? From my family. She stared at him. My family. No. He looked away. Your family was never the real target. Isla felt a chill. Then who was? Lucian finally looked at her. Me. She didn't understand. Why would anyone hurt me because of you? Because they knew I cared about you. Her heart pounded. Before we met. We had met. She shook her head. I would remember. You were 19. He paused. You were leaving a restaurant with your father. Someone tried to attack you. Isla's face went pale. She remembered. A man had grabbed her arm. Another man had appeared. She had thought he was a stranger. She remembered dark eyes. A black coat. A voice telling her to run. Her breath caught. That was you. Lucian said nothing. She whispered. It was you. Part 7. The kiss. That night, Isla couldn't sleep. She found Lucian outside on the terrace. You saved me. He turned. Yes. For years. Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Because your father asked me not to. Why? Because knowing would have made you a target. She walked toward him. You could have told me after he died. I wanted you to have a normal life. She laughed sadly. Look where that got me. I know. She looked at him. Did you marry me because of the promise? He hesitated. Partly. And the rest? His eyes held hers. I couldn't let them take you from me. Lucian. I know what this looks like. It looks like control. It is. He stepped closer. But it is also fear. She swallowed. You don't frighten me anymore. His eyes darkened. You should. Why? Because I would destroy anyone who tried to hurt you. She should have been afraid. Instead, she reached for his hand. He looked down at their fingers. Then back at her. If I kiss you, this marriage stops being an arrangement. I know. Are you sure? She nodded. He kissed her. Slowly. Nothing like the desperate kisses she had imagined. It was careful. Almost hesitant. As though this man who controlled everything was terrified of getting this one thing wrong. When they pulled apart, Isla rested her forehead against his. You've been protecting me for 5 years. Yes. And I never knew. I didn't need you to know. She looked into his eyes. I know. Then she kissed him again. Part 8. The betrayal. For the first time, their marriage felt real. They began sharing breakfast. Lucian started teasing her. Isla started stealing his shirts. They argued about music during long drives. He learned to laugh around her. She learned that he hated being touched unexpectedly. She also learned that he slept badly whenever she wasn't in the room. It was becoming something neither of them had planned. Then Isla found the letter. It was hidden in Lucian's study. A letter from her father. Dated 2 weeks before his death. She read it once. Then again. My daughter must never know what Lucian did. Isla's hands shook. She searched through the desk. There was another document. A transfer of money. From Lucian to her father's company. The same week her father died. She confronted him that night. What did you do? Lucian looked at the papers. His face went pale. Where did you find these? Answer me. I gave your father money. Why? To protect you. From what? He was silent. Lucian. My father wanted your family destroyed. Isla froze. What? He discovered your father had evidence against him. Evidence of what? Everything. She stared at him. Then why did my father die? Lucian looked away. He was killed because he refused to give them the evidence. Who killed him? I don't know. You're lying. I'm not. She stepped closer. You said you protected me. I did. You said you knew who was dangerous. I did. Then why don't you know who killed my father? Lucian's silence destroyed the last of her trust. She stepped away. You knew this entire time. Isla. I thought you married me because you loved me. His expression broke. I did. Then why did you keep lying? Because I was trying to keep you alive. She shook her head. You don't get to decide what I deserve to know. Then she walked out. Part 9. The truth. Isla returned to her family's old villa in Florence. She didn't tell Lucian where she was going. For 2 days, she ignored his calls. Then she found something hidden beneath a loose floorboard. A small metal box. Inside was a photograph. Her father. Lucian. And another man. Marco Moretti. Lucian's older cousin. The man who's standing beside Lucian at the wedding. She remembered his smile. His polite voice. His perfect manners. She turned the photograph over. On the back, her father's handwriting read, "If anything happens to me, Marco has the files." Isla's blood ran cold. She called Lucian. He answered immediately. Where are you? Florence. Silence. You shouldn't be there. I found something. What? Marco. Lucian went quiet. Isla, listen to me carefully. No. She stood. You're going to listen to me. A sound came from the hallway. Her heart stopped. Someone was there. The door opened. Marco stepped inside. He smiled. Your husband should have told you never to trust anyone in this family. Isla backed away. Marco raised a gun. Especially him. The phone was still in her hand. Lucian had heard everything. Marco took a step toward her. You ruined everything. Why? Your father refused to cooperate. And Lucian. Isla's breath caught. You killed them. Marco smiled. Your father, yes. He paused. Lucian survived. The front door suddenly exploded open. Security flooded the villa. Lucian appeared behind them. His face was terrifyingly calm. Put the gun down. Marco laughed. You always were your father's favorite mistake. He raised the weapon. Lucian moved first. A shot rang through the room. Marco fell. Isla stood frozen. Lucian ran toward her. Are you hurt? She shook her head. He grabbed her face gently. Are you sure? Yes. He pulled her into his arms. She held him tightly. I'm sorry, he whispered. For what? For making you believe I didn't trust you. She pulled back. You didn't. I did. He looked into her eyes. I knew Marco was behind your father's death. Her heart stopped. You knew. I suspected. Again. He shook his head. No. He reached into his coat. I knew. He handed her a file. Inside were years of evidence against Marco. Why didn't you tell me? Because I couldn't prove it. Then why marry me? His eyes filled with something she had never seen before. Fear. Because Marco found out you were alive. Isla stared at him. He was going to kill you. Lucian took her hand. I had one choice. Marry me. Yes. Why? His voice broke. Because if you were my wife, the Moretti family would be forced to protect you. She looked at him. You married me to save me. Yes. Part 10. The twist. Months later, the Moretti family empire was collapsing. Marco's crimes had exposed years of corruption. Lucian had given evidence to the authorities. He had walked away from most of his inheritance. And Isla had returned to Florence. But this time, she wasn't running. She was building her own life. Lucian visited every weekend. Sometimes they talked for hours. Sometimes they argued. Sometimes they simply sat together. One evening, Isla found him waiting outside her apartment. He held a small black box. She looked at it. What is that? Something I've had for 5 years. He opened it. Inside was her grandmother's silver necklace. The broken one she had thought was lost. Isla stared at it. How did you get this? Your father gave it to me. When? Before he died. She touched the necklace. Why? Lucian looked at her. He told me that if I ever failed to protect you, I should return it to you. Her eyes filled with tears. You never failed. I almost did. He stepped closer. I married you because I wanted to save you. She smiled faintly. And now I want something else. What? For the first time in my life, I want you to choose me. She looked at him. You already have me. He shook his head. Not because of the marriage. She understood. He wasn't asking her to remain his wife. He was asking her to love him without fear. She reached up and touched his face. I choose you. He closed his eyes. Then kissed her. It was different from their first kiss. There was no fear. No bargain. No protection. Just two people who had survived everything that had tried to keep them apart. But when Isla pulled away, she noticed something inside the black box. A second envelope. Her name was written on it. What's that? Lucian's expression changed. I don't know. She opened it. Inside was a single photograph. It showed her father standing beside a woman Isla had never seen before. On the back, there were 6 words. Your mother knew the truth. Isla looked up. Her heart began pounding. My mother. Lucian stared at the photograph. For the first time since she had known him, he looked genuinely shocked. That's impossible. Why? Because your mother died before your father. Isla turned the photograph over again. There was a date. 1 year after her mother's supposed death. Neither of them spoke. Then Lucian took her hand. "We're not finished." Isla looked into his eyes. For months, she had thought the worst secret in her life was the reason Lucian had married her. She had been wrong. The marriage had saved her. But now she had discovered something far more dangerous. Her mother might still be alive. And she might have been the one who started everything. Lucian tightened his grip around her hand. "Whatever happens next," he said, "we face it together." Isla smiled through her tears. "I thought you were supposed to protect me." "I am. From everyone." He looked at the photograph. "No." His eyes returned to hers. "From myself, too." And for the first time, Isla understood the real reason she had fallen in love with the most feared man in her world. He had never wanted to own her. He had spent years trying to make sure she survived long enough to choose her own life. And now she had chosen him.